I've heard this quote attributed to Elon Musk. If I give myself 3 days to clean my kitchen, it takes me 3 days. If I give myself 3 hours, it takes me 3 hours. Essentially, it's talking about the principle of Parkinson's law. Work expands to consume the time that it has available. And that's why it makes sense to create deadlines, to, for example, time box your tasks, to have constraints that will not let work just expand to an unlimited end. My question, though, in the kitchen example, sure, if you give yourself 3 days, okay, accept it that you take 3 days. If you give yourself 3 hours, you take 3 hours. Wonderful. But then why stop at 3 hours? Why not give yourself 3 minutes, 3 seconds, and then you'll be done like that? That'll be great, no? I'm sure you'll be thinking, oh, come on, Anish, you need to be reasonable. But yes, that's my point. I need to be reasonable. How do we figure out what is reasonable or not? In the case of cleaning your kitchen, it could be that, oh, I've done it in the past many times, and I know when I'm efficient, I take around 3 hours. That's a great way to figure out how long you can finish the work in this time. Or let's say, you know what all components the whole project is made of, and you know how long each of the components will take. Based on that, you figure out how long cleaning the kitchen will take you. That also makes sense. And then you have that as a deadline. I get that. When it comes to GMAT, do you know how long each component will take you to prepare? Usually the answer to that question is no. I expect it'll be no in your case also. Do you know what a reasonable timeline is? Have you had experience preparing for the GMAT in the past? No, it's not like you've prepared for the GMAT, you've got a great score, and now you're starting again. You might have been continuing to prepare, but it's not like you've gone through the complete cycle. So you can't use your experience to figure out how long you should take this time based on how long you took last time. Then what's left? Well, let me first mention, how do people usually figure out their timelines? And the most common timeline I've heard is 3 months. Given that we are at this time of the year when people are looking at round 1, round 2 deadlines, it's even more important that you don't just decide a timeline based on a Google search. Google search will only relate whatever has been shared by people online. Who's more likely to share their information, their GMAT journey? Somebody who got a great score in 3 months, or somebody who's still struggling after 18 months? The stories you hear are of a very limited subset. Based on that, to try and figure out how long you will take doesn't make a lot of sense. Then the question comes, what to do? Do I just leave everything open-ended and let things get extended as much as they can? Yeah, that's not ideal either. My recommendation is, instead of thinking about an overall 3-month or a 4-month deadline, focus on how many hours I will put in this week, how many hours I will put in today. I chose my words carefully. I want you to focus on how many hours you put in, not how much I will achieve today or how much I will achieve this week. That will depend on how much you're able to grasp. So don't set targets in terms of number of topics. Set targets in terms of hours, how much you'd like to study on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. That can help your preparation stay on track. What can also assist you alongside are accountability partners. However, a vague 2-3 month deadline without much basis for it for yourself doesn't make